Today I want to talk about how you, people, have been programmed to think, work, and why this mindset prevents you from truly living. You have heard since childhood, to get something, you need to work hard. At school, at home, on TV, everywhere they say that life is a struggle, a constant need to do something, even if you do not want to sacrifice yourself for someone else's goals, to endure inconvenience for the sake of future success. You may not even have thought about why this happens, just accept it as a norm. But what if this norm is not yours? What if you have the right to your own seriously, to your own pleasure from life, to the path that is truly interesting to you? The world is changing. The earth, like people, is now going through serious transformations of consciousness. What used to seem impossible, life to your liking, work for love, rejection of imposed right, is becoming more and more real. My name is Leia, and today I want to be for you just a conversationalist and, a true friend. Imagine that we are sitting somewhere in a cozy place and having a heart-to-heart talk. I am not here to teach you about life, but really just to remind you of simple and important things. Why is it important to listen to yourself and follow your desire? Joy is not just confidence, it is a navigator that tells you where your resource is, where you are the most included and alive. When you live from joy, your brain works differently, creativity grows, your appearance, energy for new ideas, your body recovers faster, your health is stronger. Joy is, honestly, direct access to your inner potential. Where there is joy, motivation always appears. It's that same inner energy, which will force you to crumble in the morning with the desire to do something. When there is motivation inside, you move towards the result without a war on yourself naturally, as if by yourself. And where there is a result, it always gives rise to new joy, a feeling of pain and pride in yourself. It turns out to be a real circle. Joy gives the strength to act, and action generates new meaning and even more joy. But it is clear that many of you simply don't have the resources, no support, or enough money to just up and leave an unloved job or drastically change your life. And that's normal. Each has his own start. It is important not to compare yourself with others, but start in the evening. Listen to yourself, at least in small things. Maybe today you can't give up everything, but you can honestly answer yourself, what do I really want? What fulfills me? And what gathers strength? Take a tiny step towards yourself. Sometimes, this is enough to start getting out of the circle of must and should. Perhaps when you try to do this, which is really interesting, at first it will be anxious, uncomfortable, because old attitudes immediately pop up in your head. Fear, insecurity, justification, the feeling that you do not deserve something more. This is just old programming. It is not yours, it came from outside. You have the right to live differently. Maybe you have long felt that you are stuck in a routine, a job that does not please, a relationship that does not bring happiness, life on autopilot. But there is always a chance to stop and ask yourself, what if I try differently? Allow yourself to overcome your desires and be honest with yourself. You do not have to make the end of your life in the same way if it no longer suits you. Rethink your shoulds and musts. Maybe they are already tired. Often, changes are, impossible on their own, precisely because there is just so much fear and instability around. Not everyone has a safety cushion, and this is reality, not fiction. But everyone can begin to free themselves from internal control, at least at the level of thinking. Stop scolding yourself for being tired and honestly allow yourself to dream of more. At least consciously choose yourself. Remember, even the slightest movement towards your step matters. It is important not to wait for someone to come and give you a solution for another life. This is an informational decision, and really, it does not require the perfect moment or external guarantees. You will never feel completely ready for change. Readiness comes only when you make a choice. It's, like a leap into the unknown, where the only compass is your feelings and desires. If something did not respond, work, people, place, you have the right to leave, to start looking for what is closer to your soul. Don't be afraid that the world will collapse without you. All that remains behind, well, they continue their business movement, and you will have a chance to build your new reality. You know, joy is not always something grand. Sometimes it's just a trifle, like an interesting hobby, a delicious dinner, or, well, communication with a loved one. It might be that feeling of flow you get during the creation of something new. You were created for creativity, not necessarily in art, but honestly, in life itself. To try something, to change, to create in a new way. Everything that is born from your inner response, making you feel alive. If it seems to you that real life is not for me, well, this is also the result of programming. Start with at least once a day choosing what makes you happy. As you bring yourself to do this, you will learn to hear yourself all the better and your life will become a little more yours.